Around, we landed here in Goa. Thanks to the organizers in our state, where we handled the operations last time, most of you would have come. And if you didn't come, you missed out at not only business, but I think watching the scenic beauty of Mizoram. Still, the invite is there to corporates, to all who are sitting here. You're welcome to visit Mizoram in future. This is just an extension of what happened last, the great event. So now we are here in Goa, I think. We had sumptuous lunch and very good presentations. And here also very good patients. It's the problem. You need to connect your audio system most. Big problem. So, make it stable. So, now I think we are already running behind the schedule. So, we'll quickly go to the final discussion. Okay. Hello. Yeah. So, we quickly go through a panel discussion. I think it's more of a clubbing, and we all have to discuss about reimagining governance, the role of generative AI and disruptive technologies, along with digital future of governance, citizen-centric services with scalable and secure foundations. So, we have a galaxy of panel, all the officers and all the friends from the industry who are sitting here. First of all, I would like to take the discussion on with our colleague from Telangana. She is Deputy IGP handling women's safety, right? So, Rema, I would like to know from you, because you have flight to catch, so I think we should listen you first. So, I want to know from you that what are the aspects you are taking care of cybersecurity. We went through a lot of presentations, a lot of things all through the day, and many such things are happening. So I believe you are handling the most sensitive part, that is human safety, right? And that too in a very technologically advanced stage, where AI and many things are in advanced stage, where we talk the technology, first of all, Hyderabad or Bangalore comes into the game. So you are handling one of those cities, especially in relation to women, safety, and this is a paramount important thing. Every day we are watching things happening. Kindly elaborate like how you people are handling things in Telangana, and what are your future requirements? How would you like things to shape up in the future, and how this conclave is helping you in doing that?
Thank you, sir. First of all, my sincere apologies to my fellow panelists, to distinguished speakers who spoke before, and all the participants. With your permission, I really will have to leave after speaking for 10 to 15 minutes, because I would like to catch. And by thanking you, sir, I would like to give a little bit of insight into the ancient history and the contemporary history. Since morning, I've been attending all the sessions. I've been a constant participant in all the government conferences in the past. And every time I was invited to come and speak, I would just, come and speak and just leave. Most of the time, I would just arrive 5 minutes before my session. But today, I decided that I want to come on time at 10 a.m. sharp and sit through the day, listen to every single speaker, and understand how things are shaping up in our society, and especially when it comes to the use of artificial intelligence, in governance structures. And I was just telling Mr. Mishra that today, I'm a speaker and I'm also a participant. And since one, all of us are questioning, and we are wondering about where is it going, right? I mean, this whole discussion about artificial intelligence and how far we can take it. Very recently, I was reading an article. This article was discussing about this whole scope of artificial intelligence and the concerns, particularly the ethical and the moral concerns, especially when it comes to getting into the intricate lives of citizens in the name of efficiency and ease of doing business, right? So there were a couple of quotes which were referred in that article, and I really thought I should present those, bring those to your notice. We are quite familiar with all the big names in the industry, all the tech CEOs who give us confident talks and presentations. and maybe he pushes into this euphoria around artificial intelligence, right? How things are going to shape up, how the future is going to be, are we really safe, how are we going to put a check, how are we going to regulate the whole thing. So someone, Sam Altman, who is, heading the OpenAI thing, quite famous for the ChatGPT, he was talking about, a scenario which is not too far from now, maybe in a year or maybe 5 years from now, that there will be a scenario where, the job applicants will have to fight with AI models, where an AI model can claim that, it has the ability of a PhD holder, right? And they are predicting that within a matter of 5 years, 20% of the white-collar jobs will be wiped out, and then we will be looking at a 20% unemployment rate. And the last time it happened was during the Great Depression, many years ago. And another tech company CEO, the one who heads Anthropic, Mr. Dario, he was talking about scenarios with real life examples where they are claiming that all these artificial intelligence models they start to prove to be much better when it comes to intellectual skills and capacities than the human beings, right? And then we keep reading about all these scenarios about ethical concerns and all. So the question is, when in a heterogeneous country like India, say I'm here as a police officer, we deal with the crime and the criminals of the society, and the very first time I still remember in state of Telangana, few years ago, one of our DGPs decided that it's time we have to place CCTV connectivity in the state. And we went in for a large scale community CCTV project. And there were too many articles and too many discussions in the social media about the ethical concerns. Do we have the right to get into the movements of the citizens without their consent? But then few years down the lane, when we did a study about the crime prevention, detection and conviction, it actually gave us a lot of evidence to prove that many of the cases were detected at a much faster rate, just because we had the availability of the CCTV footages, or just because the detection would be easier and we could catch the accused faster because we had the footage available and there was an evidence to prove the commission of the crime. So from this, I would like to very quickly tell you about the different AI models that we use. I won't take more than 2-3 minutes. See, I'm currently posted as DIG Women Safety in Telangana, and every single module that we run in Women Safety Wing, starting with tracing of missing children, or addressing the concerns of safe working place, addressing the concerns of the large women workforce we have in the IT sector, and addressing controlling low-level harassment that happens in public spaces. For every module that we will use, and our flagship initiative, Bharosa, which is an integrated one-stop support service for victims of sexual abuse, for every single module, for every single initiative, we have tech-enabled solutions. I will just mention about the safe workplace thing, because we have participants from both government and non-government sectors. There was a time when women will not come forward to speak about the abuse happening in the workplace because they don't want their identity to be revealed. They want it to be confidential. But today we have an AI chatbot. We call it the SAGA's chatbot, which is operated by the Women Safety Wing. On an average, every day we get 20 to 30 queries where the women just seek our legal guidance. They just seek our judicial guidance. And this was never scenario a few years ago. So you can count like hundreds of such examples where you can actually use all these AI models and the latest technological solutions to make life easier for the citizens we are supposed to serve. And as we have seen in the presentations that were done in the morning, the needs of citizens are constantly evolving. And we as public servants, we are mandated to find solutions. One of the reasons why I decided to sit through the presentation since morning is to understand and learn, because all of us have to learn. If you're not learning, then we are lagging behind. We just had a presentation upstairs about a data security model, and half of us were just sitting there because we don't understand technology. So this time we work on solutions which is legible to the citizens that we serve, which is accessible, which is transparent. And as you're aware, since last 1 year, we have embraced the new criminal law regime in the country. We no longer use the IPC and CRPC and the Alien Evidence Act. since July 1st, 2024, the Government of India has introduced the new criminal laws, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagari Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniam. And these were introduced with the sole aim of citizen-centric judicial system in the country. And if we want to achieve that goal, the only way we can achieve is through transparency, and transparency can be achieved only by embracing tech-enabled solutions. So that's
very nice. Thanks. You have given a detailed perspective, right, from global to local. Like how Telangana is contemplating and thinking about implementing technology. I'm sure there are a lot of takeaways for the corporations sitting here. This is the future of Telangana, especially in terms of security and cybersecurity we're talking about. And she's handling a lot of critical operations for our best wishes with you. So after this, I think the second most technological advanced place, no more basis, Bangalore. I think we should come to Karnataka. So, can you please throw some light on this? Bhooblan is CEO, Center for E-Governance. Wonderful. So, you can give us a very good perspective, like where Karnataka is heading towards. Both of these two hubs of technology, we would say that you have crossed the level of maturity in terms of implementation of e-governance and all these projects are concerned. In fact, recently last year in some conference I happened to meet your Honorable Minister Priyanga 𝐂𝐲𝐳. So he also seems to be very optimistic and pushing a lot of good reforms. So can you please throw some more light, like where we are heading towards, what is your vision? And what is the current state of activities and how you can come in? Like our friends are offering some solutions for the future. You must have seen the video of it. So kindly throw some light and enlighten us with your thoughts. Thank you. So just a second. I think we will let our colleague go. She has to catch up a flight, so otherwise she's missing out. Thank you for coming to Choudhary and speaking very well. Yeah. So quickly, can you hand over some momentum? Yeah, so please, I believe we will start now from here onwards. Listen about what Karnataka is thinking and what are the future things like.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. As you have correctly mentioned, Karnataka has always been a pioneer in implementing new e-governance projects. And we have a lot of examples where few projects were initially piloted in Karnataka, but they were later on adopted in the entire country. For example, Munish is one of the projects. It is the complete digitalization of our land records. It has been so successful that it is now implemented in almost each and every state of the country. And we are continuously trying to improve the system so that the latest challenges are being addressed by our technologies. For example, in Bhumi, we will be able to get the land details of each and every piece of land. Now, in respect to the government land, we have issues of protecting the government land. We have government lands ranging from smallest of the parcels to huge number of acres, whereas they keep getting encroached by some miscreants continuously. So with the help of artificial intelligence and with the help of our remote sensing agents of the state, Karnataka State Remote Sensing Application Center, we are now devising a strategy such that even a smallest change in the land use will immediately trigger an alert to the authorities such that any encroachment will be able to identify and immediately that will be prevented. And based on this pilot study, we were able to protect a lot of encouragement, especially in Bangalore, because Bangalore, you know, the price of each cent of land will be in crores. So we are piloting this project in Bangalore, and it has been quite successful, and we are now trying to expand it to other parts of the state. Similarly, the Karnataka is the first time to have a database, a holistic database for each and every family, which family has a unit. So in this database, we have information related to the financial status, social status, educational status of each and every member of the family. Based on this and using the artificial intelligence, we are trying to give information to these citizens based on the database that we call as CITO. That what are the available benefits to them? Like in the morning, we were able to get some insights regarding how proactive a government has to be. So instead of people approaching the government, we should be in a step forward such that we are reaching them before they like approach the government. In that way, we can give a good governance to the people. These are a couple of examples where we are currently piloting. At the same time, we have a lot of other activities going on. For example, with respect to the animal welfare, we all know whenever a loan has to be taken for like a cattle, there will be some form of like piercing in the ears, which is kind of animal cruelty. So we have come up with a technology called as muzzle print technology. Then this will be like our biometric only. So based on the facial features of the cattle, then all the details of the cattle will be captured. So each and every animal will have its own unique ID. Right from their birth till their death, we will be able to maintain the details. So in a state like Karnataka, where you know the handling of the animals is quite sensitive and often triggers the non-order issue in case of cattle theft and all. We are trying to avoid those situations based on this database because any transportation, whether legal or illegal, of any animal will be captured through the geofencing technology that we are trying to incorporate. Similarly, in the other area that we have been using the geofencing technology is the attendance of our staff. You know, earlier the attendance registers were signed manually. Then we were seeing the cases where people sign in the morning and they left for their own work and they will never come back. Then the biometric was introduced, hoping that things will improve. Again, people will start giving their biometric in the morning. Then they will go and do their own work. Sometimes they will go to their home and they will come back in the evening and they will give their biometric. Now, what we are trying to do is geofencing the presence of the staff. So, the office premises of each and every staff will be geofenced, such that his presence in a particular location will be measured, and we will be able to quantify his work, how many hours per day he has worked, whether his task, whether the task that we have given to them is achieved or not. This kind of system will be able to improve the quality of the work, and in turn it will reduce the red tapeism that we all criticize about each and every government process. So these projects are mainly depend upon artificial intelligence, and such disruptive technologies will be able to cater to the needs of the larger population based on the acceptance of these technologies, not only by the government sector but also by the public with the help of the private sector. So today it's a very wonderful opportunity for me to interact with like officers from different states and also from the private sector, where I got a lot of insights, and some of them will definitely augment for like a demand that we are expecting for. And I thank for this opportunity to invite me here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Wonderful. So you're going leaps and bounds in all citizens and activities and trying to catch up. The important thing is, I think this is prevalent in almost all the states. All of the leagues will agree. People coming, marking their biometric, going for having fun all day and coming back. And so this is a good catch they have found. And in this era and age of AI ML, I think it's high time we should go for geofencing. And also, I think there should be an intelligent, I believe that my future will go towards that also, to check actually the efficiency, like how much they have performed in the day. Like actual work has been performed or not, it should be interlinked, and I'm sure such solutions are coming up. Not only geofencing, it's not like a police bandobast, like within a range people have to stand. I think deliverance is also important. So I think artificial intelligence and such models will definitely help us to go towards such. So coming towards the other side, I think Maharashtra, right? Not Maharashtra, it is government of India, but based out of Maharashtra, really. So you are handling a very important assignment. You are Director National Gallery for Modern Art, which is based out of Bombay, Telangana. So please throw some light how you are using technology in this particular domain and what lies next for us. Like everybody is an art lover. You are yourself an artist. So many things happening, so many creativity related things. So please tell our people, everybody is excited to know that when they visit Bombay West, what is like in there for them.
The very word artificial intelligence starts with art, and it is going to affect art greatly. As far as the NGMA or Ministry of Culture goes, we have a Japan portal in which all the collection that all the museums under the government of India have, they have been digitized. And on Japan portal you can go and see more than 30,000 original artworks. Which are shown there on the 30,000 from just NGMA, Mumbai, Delhi, and Bengaluru. But there are other museums also, National Museum. The entire collection has been digitized and is being shown to people virtually. Besides virtual walkthrough, you were mentioning about that. We have not done for every exhibition that we display in the NGMAs, but a lot of our very prominent ones have been ensured in a 360-degree virtual show, and those have also been hosted on the Generative portal. After I have come, I decided that as far as possible, every single exhibition that we host in NGMA, we have to have a 360-degree tool, which needs to be captured properly, and we are time of show to be made available to the people who missed it. Because you also mentioned to me that not everyone, people from Haryana, Amit, or Rajeshwari will not be able to visit NGMA. So we are doing that. Let me tell you, all the museums which are coming under the government of India, be it Priyanga Museum, be it Supreme Court of India Museum, Rajeshwari Museum, the Maharashtra Museums recently with Chandan Museum, most of them are tilted more towards technology, less towards art. And which sometimes poses a concern for me. Because come what may, when it is a museum, we have to ensure that technology does not overshadow heritage, the history, and the real value of observing and seeing in real artwork. So all the new museums are really tilted in favor of immersive shows, selfie with some Supreme Court of India judges or Prime Minister or the artists. This is happening in most of the new museums which are coming. Nirmala Museum of Salarpati, there is very, very immersive and very good experience you can see. Even the state governments. A lot of these museums now, the old ones, like NGMA, Mumbai is located in a building which came up in 1911. So it's a heritage grade 1 structure. I'm planning a few interventions, one that virtual shows I have created. VR facilities are being given to the people who will come and make experience the shows that they have been earlier. A digital wall is being created which will run through the earlier show and also the history of NGO. We have the biggest room in the fourth area of Mumbai. There will be an immersive display of NGO's own collection. So these are a few things which we are doing in the pipeline which is going to happen. But like I said, so whenever we visit, Manila, Bhooblan, or maybe lower or persons, the pleasure of visiting a museum one-on-one and seeing the Mona Lisa in front or Roscoe or Chesapeake or Mayfair, 𝐂𝐲𝐸𝐿, then will always be different. And that is probably the reason why this concern that art will be destroyed big way by artificial intelligence may not happen because art is so intrinsic and so personal to people. So that the strokes that MF was said, it's one thing in which I need help. In Mumbai, we have lots of fake MFSN pages. We have lots of fake copies, but that's so rare. They look so rare. So thanks to the scanning facilities which have come in the field of art, we can know that look, these are not the strokes which have been done by another. And this is also helping somewhere in ensuring the authenticity of the art. So these are some things which are helping. I'm sure if the private sector companies who are working in the field of AI, they approach the state governments. They go to Maharashtra as 30 museums. None of them have any AI facility. None of them have any chatbot or any customer. People don't even know where they are located. So for this, there is a lot of possibility in the old museums. But the manuscript heritage and technology implement.
Yes, thank you. Wonderful perspective. So, I think from here on, there's a lot of food for thought for AI in art world. Maharashtra is offering a lot. Government of India is also pushing. I can guarantee you this. Ministry of Culture itself is letting technology enter in, but with a caution, as she said, like originality has to be kept and all. But one thing is there in art, I fully endorse your views. You touch, you reach near the real thing is always real. But then, nonetheless, without getting a chance to visit White House for many people, they these days visit virtually. So this also helps many people who have a visual thinking that they have to achieve something, but with technology, with artificial intelligence, a lot of things can be achieved. So wonderful interventions. So we can take a lot of use out of your talk. So now let me ask Priyanga ji. She is handling Karnataka Road Transport Corporation, northwestern part. So please tell me, even I have handled transport in the past, so many things keep happening, and especially after that Nirbhaya thing, and so many things happening, and now technology has taken over BNPP. I remember our times like Project Mayur, you are also pushing with that, women safety, all that colleague from Hyderabad told about the static safety, you can tell about the mobile safety, giving to people. Apart from that, what are the initiatives that your road transport corporation is taking, keeping again into view, Karnataka is again in a very advanced state of technology implementation?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, the organization, for having me here. Actually, from beginning, from morning, we heard how technology is revolutionizing each and every sector in government and how it is really helping in decision making, policy making, in citizen-centric development. But my major concern is there are certain sectors in government that the technology is able to make a mark, especially AI, and mine is one such sector. Like transport, it's a very, very patrolling dependent sector, and it is very, very close to the people. Any technological change that is that is brought in the sector will be having a huge impact, even the smallest development. So, for example, to set a context, in Karnataka we have around 25,000 buses carrying 1.2 crore people every day. So, that is the volume that we are operating. So, and because of that itself, the dependence on the paperwork is high. So, we do not move to the technology, or we embrace the technology and slower is that when we are supposed to do. Say that Karnataka is having shown so much progress in terms of passenger comfort, passenger ticketing, right, in terms of online booking, WhatsApp ticketing. We have very huge progress in terms of giving the live locations to the passengers, updating our bus services in Google. So that in that way we have made a good progress. But our real concern is how do we use this technology, be it AI, we want to use it in optimizing our operations, where we have to run the buses where it is actually needed at the frequency actually it is required. But what we are doing is do the firefighting. We are running the buses every day, despite the national holidays, despite the state holidays, we run, but without any scientific planning. That is where the
artificial intelligence comes into play. We have recently signed an MOU with Indian Institute of Science, giving our data. So we are having the data who's boarding at which point, who's alighting at which point. All we need is when we have to operate, at what frequency we have to operate, or in which route we need to operate, where we have to curtail our operations, because we are not a profit-making corporation, neither in any of the RTC. So our focus will be in giving the best service to the citizens in the reliable, affordable service. So in that way, AI is definitely help, and we are looking forward to that. And the second part, which we are really looking forward is in terms of accident prediction. So honestly, the RTCs of Karnataka, we have 4 RTCs. We only make around 3,000 accidents, and out of which around 800 are fatal. Like 800 people lose their lives every year. So it is not about only the loss of life, but we also spend around 250 crores per annum as accidental victim claim. So in both the ways, it is neither beneficial to the public nor to the corporation. So in this exclusively in accident prediction, we are working with the Indian Institute of Science. We know where the accident is happening, which kind of road, which time, but we are not able to have the pattern, neither the insights, how to bring it down. That way, I think AI can help us into having the predictable pattern where we can bring the behavior change in terms of drivers, rather than giving a general dialogue to the drivers to produce be safe, be cautious while driving. We want to have a very, very specific instructions to the drivers, to our group, we can bring it down. And the other follow-up of this is around 15,000 cases are pending in various courts of Karnataka and High Courts and other state courts. It is with respect to accident monitoring itself. So we are not, and we have very few law officers looking after this, completely losing out all the cases. We are actually taking the help of technology in this sector, where we are using the AI to when we upload the case details, we are just, the AI, we are developing it, our in-house is developing it, where it is giving a brief of the accident, in which court it is pending. It is actually helping us giving a panelist remarks also. So that is actually helping to a large extent for corporations like us in terms of handling the cases better. Coming to the last point, what you said, sir, like after the Nirvana incident, Government of India and as well as the state governments have come out with various initiatives to increase the women's safety in terms of traveling. Like these are really restricted to installing of cameras in bus stands inside the buses, and then the POS buttons, and then having the vehicle tracking devices, and an integrated command and control sector. So it is more hardware oriented. Right now, Government of India and Government of Karnataka, we are together working on bringing AI to predict. We have two microphone system that has been established in Tukkor bus stand, where there is a girl or a woman standing and there is an event happening which is not in a right appropriate manner, everybody is approaching, there is a command center which is giving an instruction. So we are working in that way, and it is successfully working in one bus stands and one district. We are trying to scale up in other districts also. To the whole transport sector is where AI is able to make a mark, but it has a very, very large scope so that it impact lives to a larger extent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Again, very deep thinking, a very deep insight, and very happy the way you talked about those aspects where AI can make a major difference, especially controlling the accident rates and just this level of intelligence to finish off those accidental the claims, and it's a loss, not win-win situation, as you rightly pointed out. So we need to have these thinking minds and those things. I believe all RTCs in the country can take a cue out of it. This is a very good way to actually have artificial intelligence implementation models. And for the corporates who are sitting here, again, the field is open to you. They have a humongous fleet, and they would avail services sooner or later from all of you. Because government per se itself can't do anything. It is always in collusion, in understanding, in better solutions being offered from the corporates. So I'm sure there are a lot of takeaways for you from today's points which have been discussed, like you just discussed. the best practices, Pune and all, have got replicated all over the country. So that is what Department of Administrative Reforms also does. We go into these conferences quarterly or annually or that, even the people are awarded, and those practices get replicated, aspirational districts, aspirational things. These are happening just because there should not be a duplication of effort. And same effort can be replicated in your own way. You can always customize it in your own state, in your own domain, having your own inputs, the way you have to handle it there. Okay, going next, Munish is sitting beside me. He has been old colleague right from Jammu and Kashmir when I was IT secretary there. Then Ladakh also we used to take his services. Even coincidentally, there also my role as IT secretary, and now in Mizoram also. So they all are connected to me. So I kept him at last, but I think we should discuss Haryana. Haryana is handling Haryana operations. He left JD, and I think now he is more loyal to Haryana last so many years. But good contribution is important. State hardly matters. So that's what we have to do whenever we are given an opportunity. So I want Munish them to throw some light. You are additional CITO and deputy CISO of your CRID. Here you must be implementing a lot of solutions, but I also want to know from your side, like what you are offering, how Haryana is doing differently, and what are the, I know we even try to replicate your good practices in JK, if you recall, and even in other states, we try to pick up good things. You created a family ID, you created many good things. So please, from your side, tell us like what next lies in Haryana for everybody to learn from and replicate good practices. What do you have for?
Thank you, sir. As you rightly mentioned, that Haryana is one of the first few states, recently we should have proactive service delivery from the government services. Proactive service delivery, as in, if somebody is eligible for a pension, you automatically a pension will start. He should not go and visit government office to apply and then get a pension. So, for me, earlier AI was earlier the technology was more driven towards the nationalities, towards the matter which are associated with a citizen, like more of a textual data. And whatever the scanned document used to come, they used to come and sit in the repository, which after some time they will get constant. So now the data driven and the AI driven technologies, we are more focused on what is related to those documents. And we are scanning with the technology, we are scanning those documents, we are reading the meaningful text on that, and we are creating some different data. So the next wave of data is gold. So next data which is gold is the video and the image data, and this will bring more technological reforms in ways to come. So even if we speak of the BNS 3 laws, they are all mostly driven based on the video analytics and the image analytics. A criminal by another name can sit in another state, but he cannot change its biometrics. So that way, AI is helping them. In Haryana, we are focusing on our own AI bots, which will be helping in future with the customized. See, most of us we need to write on files. So getting the references of the acts and the circulars for the past historical judgments, say for police or legal or any department which has a long history. So there should be some references made in the new context to write the notes. So our bots, we have customized bots, not like ChatGPT. They collect multiple sources on the globe. Only the sources which we have supplied to them, like the government circular, the acts, all other things which they have issued by the government. Those things should be referred while drafting a new like we do with ChatGPT. So this is the future what we are working at. And most of the departments like police or health, say if health departments some symptoms are there, so what are the diseases which can be based on the what is the practice which the doctor should prescribe to. So along with the case history, if he has visited multiple other private or public hospitals inside the state. So this way the referential history, maybe pulled out from the AI agents and thrown to the person who is actually looking at that moment of time. That is helping. That is what Haryana is working at, and this is what we are now doing.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I think Haryana is always a great sector. Something new is in the offing for all of us in many domains, right from sports to IT to everything. Haryana always has made the nation proud. So we expect that in future also Haryana will keep taking the lead and the next few years will be very interesting to watch how you are implementing all this based on videos and all policing and analytics. The last thing, the most important part, the industry, which is all day here. So we have expert from the industry, Neeraj Pandey. He's Senior Sales Account Executive, Cybersecurity, 𝐿𝐵𝐷𝑒x India, right? So, Neeraj, I just want to know a couple of things from you, very specifically before we close down this session. What are the native native capabilities available in the tools which powered with Gen AI? Okay, and what challenges might arise from integrating this Gen AI into governance? And lastly, also highlight before closing few use cases which you have seen over the field and adapted by users. So that it helps all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So giving the opportunity to share my insight. From the industry point of view, I would like to put my license to kind of how I will perceive technology adoption is always challenging and scalable, right? So when you look at that, the computer which was introduced in 1990s, it disrupted the human sentiments. Then but slowly gradually we adapted and we settled down. And now it became part and parcel of the life. So what's the learning? The learning is adoption forward is the right way. And it is just the kind of technology shift, it's just the technology evolution. So we need to just sit back, relax, tighten the seatbelt, and there will be a little bit of shift and lift, and things will be good for productive and meaningful. Now, as we say that the adoption cannot be overnight, it will take its own time. The user will take time to adapt, to have to be aware of technologies. But with the corporates and the different of solutions which are available, they are embedded and having these native capabilities very little. So what you can do, like a classic example, I have seen that's quality being adopted into a lot of the government states. They're talking about a service board. So this service board, whether you are talking about any citizen-centric services, whether it is a hospitality, making the doctor appointment nearby, specialized or whatsoever, education, which we are talking about a flight, chief flight with different particles, and talking about government service request, corporate service request, incident request, all that can be managed because the service, the bot, what we're talking about, the chatbot, is completely mining, churning the data, the complete data which is collected from the domain, and it learns the sentiments, how it is responding. So that's what both the industry is. I also heard the behavior monitoring, what ma'am was highlighting. So if you look at the link back, how this complete cybersecurity before project is both governed and controlled way. You talk about how that need to be managed, need to be able to be monitored and responding. Later on, we got blessing of AI. But still in the initial phase, it was more supervised. You were telling the model of the machine how to behave, how to respond. But now we are in the era of it is completely unsupervised, which is called generative AI. We are not telling the machine how to behave. The machine needs to do a self-learning, adapt the changes to the respective shade of meaningful insight and guided responses for has to be taken by the user. Now, as it is not, we have to also touch upon how it is made with the governance. So if you look at the governance, the data quality and the accountability. So AI is totally dependent on the high quality data. It is the representation of the data in the secure data sets, which are not always available. The accountability. What happening is Gen AI is using any harmful decision, any unintended decision. Who will be blamed? It will be the system vendor, it will be the government agency, or it will be a policy maker. The other thing is compliance with the laws. So, AI has to be aligned with the government norms like PDPA, it is like the GDPR or any human rights. The other is intellectual property. AI can also use the sensitive data with copyright for any analytic device. That's how it is providing challenges for the government. Now, in industry use cases, what we have seen, the behavioral monitoring is what is talking about how we are learning the behavior of the user, how we are learning the behavior of the machine, and what kind of predictive and proactive measures we have to take. It's not about we can predict that certain time can happen. The complete simulation of that attack, we need a sandboxing, getting ready so that we can reduce the turnaround time, increase the operational efficiency, maximize the turnaround time, and reducing our turnaround time. So that's how it is. Positively left. We know that exposure time equals to your detection time and response time. So AI is taking all the heavy lifting and ensuring we are taking the right decision and mitigating or eliminating and suppressing those attacks to be propagated very bad. So that's what I think.
Excellent, excellent. Good. So I believe we had a lot of things which were discussed all through the session, starting from women's safety, which our colleague from Andhra talked about. Then we heard about how best these e-governance services are being offered in Karnataka. Then we shifted over to understanding what you talked about art and how to balance the artificial intelligence technology and how we have to go ahead, followed by what we got to know about what intelligent way to utilize technology in transport sector in Karnataka. They are doing it big way, very good initiatives being taken like peak, non-peak hours, everything to be studied by them, not just running in a stereotype manner. Like if Indian Railways has adopted this model, I believe Karnataka on the road should be the first state to actually push and pull towards it. And then we also heard Munish, like what Haryana interventions he is talking about, like usage of audio visual data these days, and especially the new acts which have come to criminal laws and all, wherein he says heavy dependence is there, and they are all working towards it. And finally, Neeraj to a wonderful line about how it is to be done and like the balancing act, turnaround time, and many things. How so everything sounds about data, friends. Like if you see since morning we have been listening to many such luminaries of the field, starting from the people dealing with national cybersecurity policy to other policy makers, very senior officers, and even we could see the perspective of the political heads of two states handling information technology. My state, Mizoram, our chief guest of the day, Goa IT secretary, IT minister. So this way we could get a lot of perspectives, and now everything is about data and intelligently piling up the data, usage of data, and using all artificial intelligence tools to utilize it for the citizen-centric services. That is the gist of the whole thing. And also to just sum up, like my role now got just added, my colleague sitting here, like now I am also handling census operations as director census in Mizoram. So we will also have the chance to actually contribute toward this very major cause, because this data collection by the nation is waited since so many years. It is like usually 91, 2001, 2011, but no 21. Courtesy COVID and those pandemic. So it kept lingering on, and now finally it is going to happen next year in few states, like as per the notification, September, October onwards, Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, Uttarakhand, and the rest of the country, 27 March. So we all are gearing up for it, and a lot of things, inputs we were discussing with the registrars are also the other day is back only in Delhi, citizen registration, and this time it would be definitely technology driven. And a very good app is coming up, and I think simplified app should come up. We all are working towards it, and there also you all have to contribute directly or indirectly. So that data is going to be a foundation for all of you, for everything to be done in the country in times to come. Be it any kind of thing, policy being made, constitutional things happening, delimitation, everything, reservation, everything is based on the census. So 2027 is going to be a historical year. So a lot of things for the industry also, a lot of ads for you also in that. And I will also end up with one thing, that last time when you guys were there in Mizoram, the red carpet was extended to you. Again, the same offer for you. It gets extended with myself sitting here, still the red carpet awaits you. Come to Mizoram, my minister was here. You can see the level of seriousness of a state that a cabinet minister presenting multiplicity of portfolios, he was here. Just to for the resolve toward this cause. So you all are welcome here in Mizoram, and thanks to all my fellow panelists for taking time out and discussing something very, very good, and the organizers for coming. As always, you have been doing your best task and keep doing the good work. Best wishes. Thank you.